You are listening to Unequaled with JC Carroll and Ajay Salveson. But first, our friends, the Painted Roses.
How'd you feel at that point?
Obviously it was sad. A lot of players that I really liked were in a position where they were going to leave.
Yeah.
But, in all honesty, I saw it as a really good opportunity. Those players who would have stayed, I had an opportunity to go earn my spot again. And I didn't know who the coach was going to be. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was in the gym all day, every day. I would get fish. Isaac Johnson, me and him would go shoot every day. I'd go lift every day. And, because I knew that I wanted to be better and change things from the year before. So I was just ready.
Well, good. No, that's one thing that I think great athletes do. They put a positive spin on maybe a negative situation. You said it. You said, hey, I saw an opportunity where everyone else could have seen destruction, despair. You saw an opportunity and you took advantage of it. We'll get into that. I was sitting watching the NCAA tournament game, and my parents asked me, they go, why do they call that kid Fish? Why is that his nickname?
It's from high school. I don't know. He could tell the story better than I do, but I think it happened in 6th or 7th grade. Him and his buddy. He was the tall friend. He had a short friend. One was named Big Fish. The other one was Little Fish. And they just stuck with him throughout high school. And it was weird because, we all called him Isaac, and the whole coaching staff called him Isaac when we first got here. And then he's just like, hey, you guys call me Fish. And so he kind of put it upon himself, and, we all liked it. And by the end of the season, even the coaching staff was calling him Fish. So
what's great is during that game against TCU, the TV announcers see the fans going like this, and they're like, why are they doing the gator chomp?
I know, right?
They're like, the Utah State Aggies, like, why are they doing the gator chomp? They didn't understand. And I'm screaming at the TV, and I'm like, it's Fish. It's not hard. Do your research. Understand what you're doing here. The lead-up process in regards of Sprinkle coming here, did they ever talk to you? What was the updates like? Did you know what was going on?
I mean, I know as far as getting coached, when I found out we got him as our coach, he pulled in the guys who wanted to stay. And he's like, all right, I need you guys working out. I need you in the gym. I got to go get a team. So there's 4 of us at that point, me, Rylan, Landon, and Fish. And, unfortunately, Rylan was in a situation where he couldn't come back. But, it was good for me, because they went out and recruited and brought guys in. And, they didn't have a lot of choice on who they could bring to dinners, to the fancy dinners. So I was going to all the fancy places. They had no choice, it was awesome for me. I went to Kabuki, places I'd never been before. So it was good for me. It was awesome.
Well, now I know how to get Mason ready. We'll take him to...
What is Kabuki?
Well, Kabuki. Oh, it's right on Main Street.
Okay, what is Kabuki? I've never heard of it.
It's a Japanese steakhouse.
I think it's where they cut up in front of you.
Right here in town, man.
JC, let's go to dinner sometime. You'll buy. You can tell me all about Kabuki.
All about Kabuki, good. I'll see if they can cook some of my beef, because I know what I've got. They're cooking. Yeah. But they can cook it for us. That'd be great.
So you get Coach Sprinkle in here, Ryland's gone, and you kind of see what the roster is becoming. What was your initial thoughts? You see Darius Brown, great Austin Boris. I mean, some of these guys, we've heard of. Josh Udeze, E. Martinez makes his way here. When you see the roster and you see him on the court, what's your first initial thoughts?
I saw people get signed, and, honestly, me, I was like, wonder if I could beat this guy out. This could be a crazy year. I got to go and prove myself, and that's the first thing I did was, when we showed up to pick up, I showed them that I was going to be a guy. One of the very first things that happened when a few of the guys got slow, we went and played 1v1. And, I was trying as hard as I could. I actually dunked on one of the teammates
Who?
You looking for the best place to grab yourself a pizza and, of course, entertainment? Look no further than Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill at 795 East, 1400 North. Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill has your salads, delicious pastas, creative pizzas, all that including watching some good games on TV with your buddies. Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill also has a Thursday through Saturday, 9 p.m. to midnight menu. That's right, 9 p.m. to midnight, Thursday through Saturday, you get the delectable items. Our producer, Adam Lurcher, and myself went there, while Adam had the chicken fingers. So I had this beautifully made gourmet hot dog with a delicious pretzel bun wrapped around it. Most importantly, Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill has the best customer service. Their employees are there to take good care of you, led by their manager, Thad Willis. So stop by Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill and let them know that the Unequal Podcast sent you there. 795 East, 1400 North in Logan.
As a lot of players said, miserable.
It was miserable. It was so hard.
Really?
It was, they say it's not, because there's a certain amount of hours we have, right, for practice and everything that's regulated, but, you get those side texts that are like, this is optional, and it's not optional. Like, we would lift, we would practice, we would play pickup, and then we would have to make 500 shots each with a partner. And that's 500 shots took like 3 to 4 hours. 500 makes, and so the days were so long, and, practice would take everything out of you. It was literally like war, like no fouls, no nothing. If you're denying everything, like you get over every ball screen, you run through people, and like my body was destroy everyone. There was a point in time in summer where we had like 8 guys practicing because everyone was hurt. So it was one of the hardest summers ever. It was insane. Long days.
I've always wanted to ask that. I just want to know what it was like, because Ian and there's a couple other guys I won't name, but they were just like, dude, this guy's miserable.
Like, the first couple of days, like, they took us into hardest workout I've ever done in my life. And I just remember, like, we all went back into the locker room just drenched in sweat. And we did it in, like, 3 ways. Like, there was 3 groups. First group got done. I was in the first group. We went back in the locker room and just waited for the other guys to come in because we wanted to see the look on their faces and just look at them. Like they walk in and they're just, like, falling over, like. And it was, like, crazy. Like, we'd all go to lunch together and we'd just, like, sit there and we're like, this doesn't feel real. Like, this legit feels like. It was crazy, but it was good. And I think that's what bonded us all. Those hard situations. Like, a lot of days it felt like players versus coaches. Like, we just hated each other. Like we just hated them. And it brought us so close together. And I think they did all of it on purpose. Like, there was days where Sprinkle would just light into me and just like scream at me, and he would be like, you haven't done anything in 3 weeks. And I'd be like so pissed because, I've given everything I've got the past 3 weeks. And he's like, you haven't done anything. And I would be so mad. And I would be so mad going to bed that night that he said that. And I would just think about it. And then I'd go even harder the next day, and, he's a genius. Like, I didn't really, at the time, I didn't even know if he liked me or what. Because he would just, like, I didn't know what he thought of me. So I would just go hard every day, and it was crazy. It was awesome.
No, that's great. I love hearing those kinds of things. Honestly, the pickup where there's no fouls and you're just playing through things.
Did you guys do that?
Well, yeah, that's kind of the way I grew up. Like, I grew up watching, as a freshman in high school, watching the varsity team, or 8th grader, watching the varsity team of Brady Papinga, Lewis Isom, and a couple other guys who are football guys. Brady Papinga is a Super Bowl champ now. And there would not be a foul called. They had black eyes. And if there was a loose ball anywhere in the gym, these guys are running out of bounds, chasing the ball to get it. So that's kind of how I saw what practice was in basketball. You just play until the whistle blows, or there is no whistle. You're out of bounds chasing basketballs. And I remember my freshman year up here, just was a random play, but we were playing, there was kind of a loose ball. They kind of dribbled off to the end was just going out of bounds to the other end of the court. And I just sprint after it, full speed, dove to save it from going out of bounds. And everyone kind of looked at me like, who's this idiot? Like, who's this clown? But it kind of a little bit like Mason said for him, he kind of set the tone with that dunk. Like I kind of showed them this is what I am. Like this is what I expect in basketball and how I'm going to play. And I think it started to click with people. So I like to hear that he kills you guys and that he made you. You all hate him. It's a lot funner to sit on the outside and hear those things than be a part of it. But I think you're right. I think that brought you guys together quickly.
Hi, this is Karen Nielsen with Guild Mortgage in Logan, Utah. Beyond great rates, we're committed to ongoing customer service even after your loan closes. We want you to experience knowledge, communication, and amazing customer service for a lasting relationship. Make Guild Mortgage your trusted partner.
Lucky moments, air quotes, that I think you guys were able to overcome because of some of that attrition. Did you watch Swamp Kings?
Well, man, that was a crazy documentary
with about say Keith Urban, with Urban Meyer. There's a time in the season for the Florida Gators that he says we're not doing the things we need to do, and we need to get rid of players. So we decided we were just gonna have a war of attrition. We just were gonna beat people to death until people quit.
That is exactly what Sprinkle said. I will not be surprised. He's like, I guarantee one of you guys won't be here in the next month. He was wrong. Everyone just faked her. No, that's how it got closer to season.
Let's go. See, I was thinking we had 8 guys play because everyone was hurt.
Literally, I was in a position where I couldn't do that. I had to be on the court. I had to be proving myself. Where a lot of guys, my ankle hurts, my hamstring hurts. I'm gonna be out for a couple days. I couldn't do that. I didn't take one day off.
So when did you find out you're going to be starting in the lineup? What was that experience like?
That was nuts. It was crazy. They started putting out the first group to run plays or go over plays, and he called my name and I went out there. I was like, I didn't know at the time it was a thing, but I remember the first game rolled around it. We went and scrimmaged Cal, and he put my name on the board, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best day ever. I was like, this is awesome. This is what I dreamed of, and this is what I worked so hard for. And, unfortunately, I didn't play very good in the Cal scrimmage, but, as time went on, I was super nervous the first couple of games, and I got a lot better throughout the season. And
it sure did.
So it was good.
Yeah, I think you had maybe a preseason game. What, did you score 26 points or something like that?
Yeah.
Did I send you a text?
Yeah, you said you almost beat me or something. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah,
he almost had one of the best preseason freshman games ever. I just had to make sure that he knew. I didn't want him to get too full of himself. Wanted to know that there were still some things to work towards.
Did you say, hey, did you see that number of the rafters that says Carol on it? That's me.
I think you said you were 2 points shy of someone else.
But he did good. It was fun watching Mason throughout the whole freshman year, and because he was a freshman, first freshman in a while. I think there's Kobe McEwen had a nice little freshman year, and Ty Wesley had an okay freshman year too.
Keta.
Did Keta have a good freshman year?
Yeah.
I think he's 7 feet tall. That's different.
He's still a monster. He set records. Okay, think about all the great big men in your Aggie history. Ty Wesley, Gary Wilkinson, Ty Wesley, Spencer Nielsen, Ty Wesley, Gary Wilkinson, and Ty Wesley.
No, Nate Harris. Come on.
Wayne Estich, Ty Wesley.
Oh, my gosh.
It's just, but seriously though, think of all the great big men. And what Keta did at the rate he did it was incredible. We're so off track right now. But what he did was amazing. And he does not get enough credit for his career at Utah State.
But he does not get enough credit for the success he had. I agree. And this is a no knock against Sam. Sam gets a lot, which he deserves. But Cato was a big part of that success.
But did you have other really good players on your team that helped?
Well, yeah. Yeah, you've said their names repeatedly. But Cato, here's the thing that I always tease big men about. When we're at Utah State, here's how it went. How tall is he? 6'3". Can he dribble? Yeah, he can dribble. Can he shoot? Yeah, he can shoot. Can he pass? Yeah. How does he defend? They go, how tall is this player over here? He's 6'11", 7 feet tall. Ask one question. Can he catch the ball? sign him up, get him a scholarship. He can catch the ball. I'm like, come on, this isn't fair. I tease my big man teammates about that all the time, but no,
off track.
But Kata, unbelievably good job. Samuel, obviously, he's still playing. Unbelievably good player. Great teams that probably had an NCAA tournament run if it wasn't for COVID, for sure. Like,
Oh God,
they probably did.
Still bothered by it.
All right, Mason, your year this year. You guys start rolling. When did it kind of click with you? You guys had the winning streak, and I think I was at one of the games doing color commentary, and the comment was, "This is like the third best start in history," and stuff like that. When did it start to click that we're having a special year?
Hey, you looking for something fun to do this summer? How about you go to Bridgeland Adventure Park, located in Garden City, Utah. Bridgeland Adventure Park has all sorts of adventures from ages 2 to 92. A 4-levels ropes course with 73 events, a giant swing, a 450-foot-long zip line, or get on a tube and head down the 350-foot slide. They're also accepting business corporate groups. You and your office want to get out of the daily grind? Sick of staring at your computer for 8 hours a day? Well, bring the company over to Bridgeland Adventure Park. Enjoy some delicious food, a snow cone, a fun time with your coworkers, and lasting memories. Bridgeland Adventure Park is located at 722 South First Light Drive in Garden City, Utah. For more information and questions, go to blap.rocks. That's BLAP.rocks.
And he wouldn't let you focus on the
no,
winning
he wouldn't.
streak either.
We wouldn't. And then remember we lost to
Bradley in overtime.
But it was after that. It was because we went on our winning streak. And I think we lost to Nevada, or I think it was Nevada. Was what broke the streak?
Yeah,
and
what was a bad loss too?
Yeah, no, it was
right?
a bad loss.
Yeah,
and I think we were comfortable, and we didn't think much of Nevada, and they came out and kicked our butt. But after we sat down in the locker room, we were like, wow, we've won a lot of games. Like we hadn't even looked at our record. Like we're sitting pretty good right now. Yeah, and we realized that if we keep doing what we're doing, we could do something special and hopefully have a chance at winning a championship in our conference.
Yeah, and to the point, I sat and talked with the Wyoming coaches when they came. They invited me to come hang out with them a little bit, and they made comments. And I spoke with the Boise State staff a little bit, and they made comments like, "Yeah, Utah State, they're tough right now, but they got this stretch coming up. So this is brutal." And you guys went through with flying colors. I mean, you won games, you won in overtimes, and all those kinds of things. The Wyoming game specifically, you had a good game.
I didn't.
Right? Was that not that one?
I had bad games against Wyoming. I had Wyoming was my worst team to play.
Sorry, Boise State is what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Boise State.
Yeah, Boise State.
You made some 3-pointers.
Yeah.
You got to the rim.
Yeah.
You finished with how many points that game?
24.
Yeah.
25. I don't know.
24, 25. Played incredibly well against a very good Boise State.
What was it like to play? Like, I mean, you've seen it. You sat in the stands and watched these players play in front of standing room only crowds. Then it's you, and that place was packed to the brim, and you have great alumni there. Aggie Hall of Famers that are in attendance, including the great Stu Morrill.
Yeah.
What was that night like to you to be on the court, starting in that game and being in that lineup and hearing that crowd?
I mean, obviously, it was awesome. I grew up, watching Stu. Like, Stu came to our practice earlier, and I just wanted to be like, Stu. But, it was awesome. And I was already pretty mad because the last game at Boise, I I didn't shoot the ball. I played all right. I had some decent plays, but, Max Rice he literally was just leaving me open. But playing like 8 feet off me.
Yeah.
Just, I got I missed one, missed two, and I was just in a mindset where I was like, yeah, I'm not shooting another one. And I just kept attacking the basket, and I knew that the first thing that I was going to do was shoot a three when in the next game. And, I made some threes. It was awesome, and, I kind of took it personal, went right at him from the start. So, and it's nothing personal to him. Like, he's a good guy. We laugh about it. I don't know why Utah State, the fans hate him so much, but
I can think of a couple of reasons why, but we'll skip that.
Yeah, but no, I love that. I love that self-awareness. Look, as we sit and watch and watch you play, your offensive game becomes unstoppable when your 3-point shot goes in. And as that gets more consistent, it just makes you so hard to guard when you got the 1-2 punch of being able to drive and finish, and then be able to step back and make a shot. People have to make decisions. They have to work hard to try and stop you. So that was awesome to see all that kind of come together in that game. And yeah, I mean, look, your team did great, but you guys won that game easily because of your performance. Let's be honest. Everyone else did their thing, but you gave them that extra that they needed to win. Mount West tournament goes okay. It's Mount West tournament. It's hard to win. Yeah. People don't understand how hard it is to win tournaments. What was that like for you guys?
Mount West tournament, obviously lost in the semis to really good team, San Diego State. But we played New Mexico before that, right? To take the regular season championship. And, we went into the tournament like, obviously we were wanting to win, but we knew that there was life after no matter what we did.
Yep.
And, that's why I decided not to play in one of those games. I hurt my shoulder in the New Mexico game, and it was fun. Obviously it's hard to play 3 games in 3 or 4 days, but a lot of players were beat up. But
can I ask a question just for you to clarify? You said that there was life after that game, that Fresno State game. That's why you decided to sit out. Can you kind of clarify what you mean by that?
So we knew that we were going to be in the NCAA tournament at that point. No matter what happened. So. I wanted to make sure that I was healed up for the future.
Okay. Okay. Hell, I mean, that was a dogfight of a tournament, too. That's considered one of the best tournaments in that conference's history in 25 years. It's considered one of the most talented all the way around. Really quickly, if I may, sorry, I want to kind of rewind to that New Mexico game. Considered, I think it was the 5th largest crowd at an Aggie men's basketball game in program history, 5th largest. That would surpass the 2018-19 game against Nevada with the Caleb Martin twins and that fun night. Just the high, and I was unfortunately on the road for a game. But can you just talk about just the high level of basketball that was played that night? Because I know, Jason, you've been in gyms like that, but that was incredible basketball to watch. Jalen House go against you guys, and you guys answer back.
Yeah, it was. That's what I dreamed of growing up. Having an opportunity to play in front of that many people, and half of my cousins and my family and my friends, So, there was nothing cooler than standing up on that ladder and come down a piece of net, and I look around and, my parents, my cousins, my friends, people I literally grew up with and have cheered me on since I was 5 years old were in that building. So it was special for sure.
Sorry, I didn't mean to backtrack.
No. That's great. That's great stuff. So, yeah, I forgot about that night.
Yeah. We go to the Mountain West tournament. You guys fall to San Diego State in a really tough physical game. You guys, honestly, if I can be so candid, couldn't get a call really to go your way either. I mean, pick up 2 quick fouls on 2 key players. Osborne picks up his 3rd foul pretty quickly too, and things kind of went south there against Ledee and that squad. But after that night, I'm sure it was a bumming night for you guys because you wanted to play the championship. But as you said, life was going to be happening for basketball-wise in the NCAA tournament. What was the mindset like going into Sunday afternoon?
Obviously we didn't play very good against San Diego State. We played good at the start. We were up 17 at one point, ended up losing. And, our mindset was, let's just forget about that game and we got to focus on who we're going to play and what's going to happen. And, just treat it like any other game, game plan and go out and play as hard as we can.
Yeah, so then the NCAA tournament, selection show comes. You guys get TCU.
Yeah.
And what was the feeling when you were 8 seed?
Thank you for asking.
I was pretty surprised. I thought, worst case scenario, we were going to be a 7th seed. But, especially when we saw San Diego State was a 5th seed. So I was expecting to be a 6 or a 7. We got an 8 seed against TCU. And, obviously we were excited, a little pissed off, but, it's the big dance. I was so excited to go and play and, be on that stage. So
I remember when the selection came on, and I'm thinking they're going to get to Salt Lake. After they got through, I think it was New Mexico, I thought they're going to get to Salt Lake. Like, they're going to play in Salt Lake. And then I saw 8-9 Indianapolis, and something just hit me. It was like, nope, they're going to Indy for an 8-9 matchup. Just the way they treated Boise, Colorado State, I just thought, I don't know if we're going to get that lucky. And like I said, TCU matchup. But that day, I mean, look, everyone's been talking about it. We need an Aggie win in the NCAA tournament. When's it going to be? You guys' preparation up to that game and your mindset going into that day, what was it like? Did you guys feel confident going against TCU?
Yeah, they were kind of a team like us, really physical. They rebounded the heck out of the ball. And, we just treated it like any other game. We went in, game planned, and knew what we were going to do, and we just knew that we needed to go and play hard and match their physicality, and that's what we did. And, it turned out good for us.
Yeah, you guys did great.
Yeah.
You dominated. I mean,
but it was scary because, the game before we were up 17. At one point we ended up losing, and I remember there was still like 8 minutes left in the game. We were up probably around 15 or 16, and I was still like, oh my gosh, like we still got to keep going. And then I remember the last media, there's like 3 or 4 minutes left and we're up 15. And I was just like, oh my gosh, we're going to win.
What was the locker room like?
We were so happy. After the game, we went in there and we just went nuts. Sprinkle came in. We were all jumping around everywhere. It was awesome.
And you guys were rewarded with that victory against Purdue. About 2 days later against Zach Edey. I've never, and you can talk about it now, but I've never seen a guy get more love from the officiating crew than I did with Zach in my entire life of any player.
He's a unit. It was funny because when they called us out, called out our name for the starting lineup, you go and shake the other player's hand. I actually went and shook Zach Edey's hand. He was so proud. I went and shook his hand. His hand was huge, and I turned over to the team like, holy crap! It's just cool. Literally, we've been watching Zach Edey the past 2 years just dominate the league. And you watch Purdue, and you're like, dang, they're a really good program. They're this and they're that, and then you have an opportunity to play against them. It was awesome, and I was super excited. And the first 8 minutes, I was like, holy crap, we might do something crazy, and then. Yeah, then he just...
that thing's too in no bed. You like enough playing around. Let's play basketball.
Yeah. It was fun, though.
Yeah, they guys start out great. Obviously, they're number one seed. They're going to beat, 319 out of 320 Division I programs. And so losing was it's something that every other team would be. And people don't understand when you play against a guy that big, how different it is. I had a teammate, Eddie Tavares, that's 7'3". He tested out the second biggest hands in the history of the NBA draft. I spent 6 years with him, and until you're around that, you just have to figure it out because they get to basketballs that a 7-footer doesn't get to. Yeah. They get rebounds. You go to foul. I watched Ian Martinez. I think it was Ian. This was like the third or fourth and one in that game. And he just kind of hits the elbow, and Edey scores it. I'm just like, you don't get my dad. I think my dad said, he's like, well, you got to foul harder than that. It's like, believe me, that guy tried to foul hard, but you have to put 2 arms and hail on that arm.
Yeah, it's going to be a flagrant 2 if you foul him too. Yeah.
So it's just different.
Yeah. And it was crazy just being by him. I tried making a joke with him at the start of the game, but I'm going to box him out at the free throw line, right? I'm about to ram into him. Like, hey, just don't go in this time. Me and my friend. And he just looked at me, doesn't say a word. I'm looking great, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Crazy switch me walks.
It was so funny.
Sorry, I used to look at the Stephers and be like, hey, I'm going to get this rebound. They just look at me and shake their head. And I'm like, who is this idiot?
It was just so funny because it literally was like he wasn't a real person. Yeah, wouldn't laugh, wouldn't say a word. The only thing I heard him say was when he blocked Ian, he's like, get that out of here. Like a big deep voice. I was like, oh, he does talk. He talks.
Throughout the entire second half of the season leading into the tournament, there were rumors around the mill about Coach Sprinkle and the opportunities he had elsewhere. I know you try to stay away from it, and I know social media is very vibrant, and guys like Jeff Goodman, who carries a lot of credibility, tweet stuff out like that. going into that game, was there any thought that, like, this is probably it with this crew?
You know, we were hearing rumors with almost a month left in the season, you know.
Did that bother you?
I mean, didn't really bother me. You know, there was always jokes, you know, like, we'd always bark, you know, it's a joke. We didn't know it was real. You know, we'd be like, go Dogs, just as like a joke in our locker room. And because we didn't really think it was real at that point. And then, you know, as the season went on, it got closer and closer. And we kept winning and we kept doing these things. We're like, oh, this might actually happen again, you know. And you know, it got to like the last week or two. And you know, it was like a real possibility that he was leaving. It was like, you know, we would have like discussions with the whole team, like, what do you think? What do you think? You know, there's like, oh, I'll bet you $5 he stays. Like all this stuff's going on, you know, and you know, by the last game, you know, I had a pretty good, solid idea that he was leaving. Like I was pretty set in stone. Like, yeah, he's gonna leave, and you know, most of the guys knew that, and you know, there was obviously a lot of guys who didn't believe it, but.
Former Skyview quarterback and Utah State football walk-on, Ted Stokes has established the #1 bankruptcy law firm in the state of Utah. Stokes Law's playbook is helping individuals and businesses overcome tough financial situations. If you're facing garnishment, repossession, foreclosure, or just overwhelming debt, give Stokes Law a call at 435-213-4771 or visit their website, stokesbankruptcy.com. Stokes Law is a debt relief agency and provides guidance under the United States Bankruptcy Code.
The AD comes in, and we all know why we're there, right? You know that he's going to leave, and she's like up there, like, yeah, you know, we just so you know, we want all of you guys to be here, you know. Unfortunately, you know, Sprinkle's going a different way, and, you know, as a joke, yeah, you know, we all knew he was leaving. I was like, so he's really leaving? You know, I kind of lightened the mood. Everyone started laughing, and then he came in, and you know, it was a sad moment. You know, came in and thanked us, and I felt really bad for the coaching staff. You know, because a lot of those guys, you know, they don't know what they're gonna do right now, and you know, it's hard to say no to that much money, and you know, it's a business world, so you know. Great coach, and I thank him for everything he did for me because, you know, he gave me a chance where other coaches probably wouldn't have. So,
no, that's great, and yeah, unfortunately, or however you want to see it, that's kind of the way college basketball is and where it's heading. Good coaches will continue to look for places. Good players will also reach out and see what other opportunities are out there. And to be honest, I think as student athletes, you kind of have to explore those options a little bit to see what systems can fit, where you can go play, and then obviously there's a whole new financial aspect of it. But it's a different world nowadays, and I don't know. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I gotta ask you two quick questions. One about two people: the general Darius Brown, what he meant to the team, and what he meant to you.
And Darius, I was roommates with him too on the road. You know, Darius was an absolute stud. You know, without him, we don't win a lot of those games, a majority of those games. So he was special to be around. He's older, obviously, and we called him the wise one because, you know, he was just smart. You know, he made great reads, knew what to do, and, you know, he's a pass first guy, which was awesome for all of us. You know, he really helped everyone score, and he's just a stud. So.
And then the other one I got to ask about, Landon Brinsley. Like, I know what it's like to be at the end of the bench and know, like, you know, I'm going to get very few minutes, you know, and have a passion to play in the game, but no, you're not going to really get that opportunity. But I feel like you and Landon were really close in that friendship. Can I just ask about the friendship with Landon?
Yeah, you know, me and Landon played on the same team since we were in third grade, you know, third until eighth grade, and, you know, then we went to high school. But, you know, Landon is... You know, he's a great role model for everyone on the team. He's a great leader, you know, because he's not there for his own personal wants. You know, he's there for the team, and he wants the best for each and every one of us. And, you know, a lot of people don't know about Landon, but he's a really good basketball player. Like, there's many times at practice where he just cooks us. You know, like, we always put him in the post because he knows he's strong, you know, and he knows how to use his body. And, you know, we go out and guard him, and he'll run through 4 or 5 or 6 of us before we get a stop. So, you know, Landon's got really good moves, and, you know, hopefully he goes and whatever he does, he's going to have success, you know.
What's your timeline for the portal? Like, when you hope to have a decision by, or how long are you taking this process?
I want to make a decision as soon as possible. Here in the next week or two, hopefully even sooner. Once Utah State gets coach, I plan on having a good conversation with him and but
Might be coming soon.
yeah, I want to make it as soon as possible because I just want to be in a position where I know what I'm going to do and what's going to happen.
Well, Mason, I want you to know it's been fun. I echo JC. Like, it's been fun watching you play. And whatever decision you make, we support you. Hope to see you as an Aggie here next year in running this team and running the show here and running it back with another NCAA tournament appearance and another win, hopefully, in that regard. But thank you so much for joining us. And greatly. Oh, yeah. Hey, last question. What do you say at the free throw line?
Secret. I can't tell. I can't
I was
tell.
told to ask. Well, again, Mason, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Best of luck in everything. We are always rooting for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Over JC Carroll, Mason Falslev, I'm Aggies Salvas. Again, big thanks for tuning into the podcast. Give us 5 stars because it's Mason Falslev on today's podcast. Listen and enjoy, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Oh, mama, what a tune could get me to feel this way. I think I'll be coming home. It's been such a long time. Oh, I think I might have made one too many a mistake. If you help me find my way, I promise I'll do the same one day.